Long ago, over 8,000 years before the events in Game of Thrones, this enormous icy structure was built as a shield against the powerful undead sorcerers beyond. With shivering temperatures and a hint of magic, this 300-mile-long monstrosity stands against the icy death that awaits. Today we will be going through, could the ice wall exist? Has anyone ever tried to make one? And would it actually make a good fortification? In George R.R. Martin's famous fictional universe, this icy barricade slices the country of Westeros in two. Famous for his detailed fictional worlds, he put no less thought into the idea of this frozen fortification. But you wouldn't believe the wall's real-world inspiration. Standing as the largest wall of its time, stretching coast to coast at 73 miles long, this mighty wall is longer than stacking 20 Mount Everests on top of each other. Yes, this is the legendary Hadrian's Wall in Great Britain, splitting the kingdoms of Scotland and England. Its purpose was to secure the growing Roman Empire from the vicious northern raids, but Martin knew this 15-foot wall wouldn't suffice against the undead soldiers of the Night King. He imagined a wall much greater than this that would dwarf anything ever seen before. Soaring 700 feet tall, this icy barrier towered over anything and everything seen in the show. In the books, the building of the wall is never mentioned. It is simply known to be the result of sorcerers' spells and giant strength that enabled the construction of such a colossal fortification. And this explains a lot. A structure of such magnitude in real life, without the additional touch of magic, would quickly collapse without complex infrastructure. However, you wouldn't believe the giant ice walls mankind has built, some towering as high as 200 feet in the air. But why would the giant ice wall be such a challenge to build? Martin Truffer, a student of natural ice phenomena, took the show's depiction of the frozen wall as an opportunity to put his knowledge to the test. He wondered how the ice wall would hold up in comparison to natural ice barriers already found on Earth. After many complex calculations, the scientists found the pressure on the ice wall to be 18 times that of the biggest glacier in the world. But hold up, has anyone ever tried to build a giant ice wall, or could one already exist? At over a mile long, towering 150 feet high, there is a real-life ice wall, but it's not quite the same as in Game of Thrones. It doesn't come equipped with a man-shredding scythe, nor does it shield mankind against the army of the dead, but it does provide a safe haven for the population of aspiring ice climbers. The Quarry Ice Park, located in southern Colorado, hosts the only location where climbers can hack, slice, and struggle their way up this slippery slope. The small group of ice enthusiasts call themselves ice farmers, but even the ice farmers are surprised by the unpredictable and dangerous behavior of this frozen terrain. Constant maintenance is required to keep this icy wall stable. Complicated plumbing systems and intimate knowledge of the ice is all that keeps this frozen marvel standing. But this is nothing compared to the biggest ice wall to ever exist. In Fukushima, Japan, a group of innovative scientists were tasked with preventing dangerous chemicals from contaminating the local town of Okuma. Costing over $303 million, this 14-kilometer-long wall of ice began its construction around the largest nuclear power plant in the world at the time. Unfortunately, the ice wall would be doomed as the largest earthquake ever recorded in Japan struck the plant in 2011. Under the powerful force of the 9.1 magnitude earthquake, the ice wall crumpled like a house of cards. Bombarded by the overwhelming tsunami, the plant was shut down as the reactors faced irreparable damage. But what if we weren't struck by the formidable force of the fourth strongest earthquake ever recorded? Would you really believe building an ice wall to be a good idea? Well, you'd believe this icy fortification after reigning for thousands of years to be the ultimate defense. Spoiler. Despite the wall's intimidating size, in mere minutes the undead dragon Viserion managed to shatter the wall, collapsing it into the ocean. Luckily, in our world, dragons don't yet soar in clouds and burn buildings to the ground, so if somebody dared to build this colossal wall, would it survive? In today's climate, the barrier would degrade incredibly fast, collapsing to nothing in mere days. Therefore, the only way to preserve its condition is constant cooling. Maintaining -40 degrees Celsius would reduce the destruction, but the phenomenal electricity bill isn't going anywhere. But that's only step one. At this point, you might start questioning your decision of building an ice wall. To reduce the massive pressure on the wall, you would have to widen the base to a staggering 4 kilometers, making this defensive structure more like an icy slip and slide than a fortification. The result would look less like a formidable wall than an Arctic ski slope. The solution to this problem lies in its design. Building a giant stone foundation would take on all of the immense pressure, freezing layers of ice over the strong stone foundation, and there you have it, the wall. It all seems a lot of effort to be knocked down by a few misplaced nukes. Traveling thousands of miles to Yakutsk, Russia, you can see the real-life ice wall, without the billion-dollar price tag. This colossal, icy wall towers 930 feet into the sky, the perfect place to record a TV show with an enormous ice wall. Yes, that's right, this is the set of Game of Thrones' giant ice wall. Stretching 40 kilometers, it is the perfect place to battle the undead armies of the north. Well, it seems the gigantic ice wall is real after all. However, it may not be the best idea to spend your life savings on, but what other fictional fantasies could already exist? That's a question for another. Is it possible?